Hello, and thank you for joining us today. In this Overcoming Yoga Barrier practice, we will talk about balance. We all think of yogis as being able to balance on one foot for an extended period of time, like we're all flamingos. In the reality of the situation, oftentimes our ego gets in the way. The floor is uneven, our feet are uncomfortable. There is a myriad of factors that go into the loss of balance or struggling with balance, and sometimes that may keep us from going to a yoga class. You may think to yourself, I can't balance, I'm not going to yoga. I'll look like a fool. Or, I need to stand against the wall, but oh my gosh, everybody is in the middle of the room and the wall is so far away. So we're here to tell you a few things. First of all, most everybody in the room is in the same boat as you, but their egos, like yours, get in the way and they stay on their mat. Sometimes they sit off their mat, but for the most part, they stay right where they are. So a couple of things that we can do to overcome this. If you know that you're going to a yoga class and you're going to have to balance, oftentimes the teacher will invite everyone to grab a chair. Or if you happen to have a chair in the room, bring a chair over next to you. Even if you're the only one in the room with a chair, people might see that and catch on and say, oh, well, if they're going to grab a chair, I can grab a chair too. And you may have just inspired somebody else to make their practice a bit more comfortable. Another option you can do for overcoming this barrier of balance is practicing standing on two legs. And sometimes our balance is a little off-center. If our feet are too close together, we might not have a firm ground. So one thing you can do when you are standing is have your feet a little wider than hips width. If you think of an old windmill, or if you think of some old antenna towers, they have a really wide base before they taper into a narrow at the top. So make your base nice and wide. Have the feet be wider than hips width. Whether they are parallel or if you happen to have one foot in front of the other, the same thing can apply. The feet can be nice and wide to help support your body. And finally, the last thing you can do, if you are working with balance, feel free to go ahead against a wall. You can always place your hand against the wall. Even if you don't use it, it's there. Sometimes it's easier on our brains just to know, okay, that wall is about arm's length away. I don't need to put my hand there, but my body is here just in case I need that extra support. And again, if somebody sees you walking to a wall and you know that you're working on your balance, that may inspire somebody else who's struggling with their balance and their ego. So let's go ahead and do an example. So one common pose, or one common form for our balance that we use in yoga quite often is called the tree pose, where we just stand on one leg and our toes on the other foot is resting up against the floor. So in this instance, we will happen to have a chair nearby. But if you don't have a chair, you can go ahead and grab one. You can walk to the wall or place your hand on the wall, and the hands can stay on the hips. And even though the yoga teacher may demonstrate, share this form, the tree pose, with their leg all the way up to their inner thigh, just know that you are doing the very same pose with your toes on the floor. You just happen to be a bit more supported. So, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching and sharing in this practice with us today.